Let's take a quick moment to talk about getting yourself set up to use QLab in these tutorials. The first thing to do if you don't already have QLab installed on your computer is go to the Figure 53 website and download the free version of QLab. Simply download the zip file, open the zip file, and then drag the QLab application icon into your Applications folder. You may also want to drag QLab to your dock for easy access. You will also want to download the QLab tutorial series workspace and the tutorial videos from the Figure 53 website. Now that you have QLab installed and you've opened the tutorial workspace, you need to check one more thing before firing the first Q. You need to make sure that QLab recognizes the audio and video output devices attached to your system, and you do this by virtually patching the QLab outputs into your output hardware. Go to the Workspace Preferences under the QLab menu bar item, or by using the keyboard shortcut Command-. Take a look at both the audio and video preferences and make sure that QLab is patched into your audio output device and video display. Most every system's hardware configuration is unique, and the ability to patch QLab's output in the preferences area simply makes it easier to transfer a workspace between different computer hardware setups. There are a couple of test cues for you to fire off to make sure that your audio and video outputs are functioning properly, which gives us an opportunity to talk a bit about getting around in QLab. The interface is designed to be as intuitive as possible, but I just want to make sure that we touch on a couple of basic navigation points that you'll need to know right off the bat for these tutorials. When you first open the QLab tutorial series workspace, you should see the Welcome Cue List. This cue list provides some basic information about the tutorials, as well as containing all the tutorial scripts. You'll need to select the cue list that corresponds to this tutorial video, 1, 2, in order to access the test cues. The cue list drawer should already be open and displayed, but if it's not, simply click on the cue lists icon at the top right corner of the workspace window, and then select cue list 1, 2 in the drawer. This will make cue list 1, 2 the current cue list, which you'll see displayed at the very top of the workspace. So, using your mouse, select the very first cue in the current cue list located in the center of the workspace. Notice that to select a cue with your mouse, you can simply click anywhere in the cue's row, and that cue becomes highlighted. Now use the down arrow key to move the selected cue position to the next cue, cue number 1201, Audio Output Test. Use your mouse to click on the Go button to start the cue. If the QLab audio outputs are patched correctly, you should hear a short bit of music. Repeat this same procedure for cue 1202 to confirm that QLab's video output is correctly patched to your video display. Note that the video output test cue is simply a still image. The QLab video cue can be used to display both movie files and still images. There are two more keyboard shortcuts that you will use constantly, and you need to know about right from the very beginning. The spacebar is the default setting for triggering or firing a go, which functions just like clicking the go button with your mouse, and the escape key will stop all cues that are currently playing. Select cue 1203 in the current cue list. Cue 1203 is actually a group cue that contains a single audio cue. Hit the right arrow key to expand the group and see its contents. We'll discuss the use of the group cue in greater detail in a later tutorial, but for now just know that you can expand and collapse group cues either by clicking on the group's triangle icon or by using the right and left arrow keys. Most of the cues in the tutorials are contained within groups. Use the spacebar and the escape key to start and stop the playback of the short music example in cue 1203. So now let's talk briefly about the basic operation concepts of QLab. Essentially, QLab allows you to program a list of events that will occur when they receive a specified trigger input, and in most cases that trigger is going to be the spacebar go. In its most basic form, the list simply starts at the top and automatically advances through the list as each event is triggered. In QLab, these events are referred to as cues, and provide the basic building blocks used to play or modify the media in your show. An audio cue will play an audio file, a video cue will play a video file, and so on. We'll discuss more specifics about QLab's various cue options throughout these tutorials. Oftentimes, multiple cues are programmed to fire as the result of a single trigger input, and this is referred to as a cue sequence. The next tutorial will provide more details about cues, cue sequences, and cue lists.